If you're a fan of procedural shows, Hudson Rex is an incredible one. And guess what? Citytv has announced that they've renewed the show for an 8th season. Now, I know you have lots of questions, mainly about Charlie's fate, because, unlike in previous seasons, we didn't see much of him in season 7. That was a bit frustrating. At some point, we all started to worry that John Reardon, the actor who portrays Charlie, had left the show. But let's be honest, there is no Hudson and Rex without Charlie, right? So let's dive into what happened behind the scenes, whether John Reardon will return or not, and last but not least, what the latest update on season 8 is. I want to start with the ending of season 7 and where the show could go from there. But stick with me, because I also have some news about John Reardon's future on the show. In the season 7 finale, we learned that Charlie followed Jack to Rio Nuevo, but the police couldn't confirm whether Charlie and Jack were missing or even dead. Mark, the new guy at the station, offers to go there since he's been to Rio before and wants to help Charlie. Sarah seems impressed by the offer and she's simply appreciative, as anyone would be, but then things get a bit complicated. Mark returns toward the end of the episode and reveals what happened, and oh boy, it's not good. Apparently Jack was with a woman named Maria Zunino, who had information on a cartel. Jack was trying to help her escape, but the cartel tracked her down. Charlie ended up saving both Jack and Maria, but he took a bullet and fell into the water. Guess what? His body was nowhere to be found. At this point, Charlie is missing and presumed dead. Sarah, like the rest of Charlie's friends at the station, looks devastated. And Rex? He definitely knows something bad has happened. He always does. Then we get a time jump. Several months later, we see Rex playing with Mark at the beach. The betrayal. Just kidding. I could never say something like that to Rex. But honestly, there might be a betrayal brewing in season 8, because something doesn't smell right. More on that later. We learn that Sarah took a break from work and didn't take care of Rex after what happened, because she says she missed him. So what I'm thinking is this. Rex stayed with Mark, who now seems like a replacement for our beloved Charlie, which, let's be honest, is a bit annoying. Mark asks Sarah if she's back, and she confirms. She says there is no update on Charlie, but she knows he'd want her to return to work. She looks radiant, especially for someone who believes her significant other might be dead. But months have passed now, so let's give her the benefit of the doubt. At this point, I want to highlight something. The chemistry between Mark and Sarah. Sure, right now they seem like just friends, but I really don't like the vibe here. You know, he's taking care of Rex. He went after Charlie to help. This guy is too nice. It almost feels like the writers are trying to make him more and more likable, like they're setting him up to replace Charlie. And does that mean he and Sarah will get together in the future? I really hope not, because there's an important reason. Why Charlie was absent for most of the season. And no, it's not because the show decided to write him off. It's because John Reardon, the actor who plays Charlie, was dealing with cancer. On December 24th, John posted 2 photos of himself on Instagram. In the first one, he looks sharp and charming as always. But in the second, he's lying in a hospital bed. It turns out that December 23rd was his first night out after recovering from tonsil cancer. This explains why his screen time in season 7 was lower than usual. He was undergoing treatment during filming. In the caption of his post, he shared how incredibly supportive the people around him have been, from his inner circle to their nanny and the hospital staff. He ended with a powerful reminder: kindness is an underappreciated quality in people. We should never undervalue it, celebrate it, and distribute it as much as possible. It is free and life-changing. I couldn't agree more. On January 16th, John shared a trailer for a mini-series called Disrepair and expressed how grateful he was to be part of the project. Then on February 7th, he posted a teaser for something he and his wife Megan Ori had been working on, a DIY renovation show on YouTube. If you're wondering, they dropped their first video on February 10th. Now everything seems to be going great. He looks healthy, he's active, and he's clearly excited to take on new projects. Like, he's so back. But with all these updates, people naturally started to wonder, did he leave Hudson and Rex? Did he decide to pursue different things after his recovery? Well, yes and no. To me, it looks like this is a man who truly missed being active, and now he's making the most of life, catching up on everything he had to pause during treatment. But leaving Hudson and Rex? That's not happening. He never confirmed that he left the show. In fact, he posted a video on Instagram showing his original audition for Hudson and Rex. In the caption, he shared how much he misses Newfoundland and his friends on set. It was hard not to be there with them while they continued to make the show great. I'm happy to say, though, that I am cancer-free and have been cleared to go back to work in full capacity. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that definitely sounds like a statement about returning to the show. So yes, John is returning in Season 8. But the real question is, how? There are a few possibilities. Remember when I said Sarah looked radiant at the end of Season 7? Maybe, just maybe, Charlie found a way to contact her and let her know he's alive, but asked her to keep it a secret for now. That could be revealed through emotional flashbacks in Season 8, showing us their private conversation, or maybe she's just trying to hold it together. Maybe that scene was a way of seeming strong while quietly falling apart inside. Now let's talk about Charlie's whereabouts. Maybe Jack found him. Maybe someone else did and took care of him, but it was too dangerous for Charlie to reveal his location, so he had to lie low. He could even be unconscious in a hospital somewhere, listed as a John Doe. That might explain why Mark couldn't track him down, or, and hear me out, maybe Mark did find him when he went looking, but it was too risky to say anything. So he stayed quiet and didn't tell Sarah or the rest of the team. Now that would be cruel, but honestly, I find it kind of likely. Like I said before, this guy seems too perfect. We need him to mess up somehow, even just once. So what do you think happened to Charlie? And how will the show bring him back in Season 8? Let me know in the comments below. Before we get into the release date, I want to take a moment to talk about our beloved Rex. The German shepherd named Diesel, who portrayed Rex, sadly passed away from cancer in August 2024. At the time, they were still filming Season 7, so Diesel's nephews were brought in to take over the role. The production team decided to keep it a secret for a while. On February 12th, the news was finally shared through the show's official Instagram page. Executive producer Christina Jennings said, "He created such on-screen magic, a true star, with an undeniable sense of majesty. Like many of you, I was heartbroken to hear this. While I believe his nephews have done a great job, we'll definitely miss Diesel. He was truly one of a kind." Now it's finally time to talk about the release date and trailer. The renewal news came just a week before the Season 7 finale, which shows how much Hudson and Rex is still loved after all this time. Filming is set to begin in St. John's, Newfoundland on May 20th, and will wrap up on July 27th. As for the release date, I believe we might get to watch Season 8 in late 2025 or early 2026. The last 3 seasons of the show started in December or January and aired until March or April, so I don't see any reason why they wouldn't stick to that same release window for Season 8. By the end of 2025, I expect we'll have the trailer. I bet it will include a few scenes with Charlie, giving us a glimpse of where he's at now, and flashbacks explaining what happened to him. I also expect a scene with Sarah that hints at a possible relationship with Mark in Charlie's absence. Lots of adorable Rex moments, and of course, a little tension and action as usual. What do you think will happen in Season 8? Let me know in the comments below, and watch this video next.